Hey, what's up, fellow YouTubers and bookworms? And thank you so much for stopping by my channel. My name is Odie, or known to you here as Starscream 1988 Boss. So yes, I am doing this video because I just kind of want to piggyback off of Soundout 12. And I do apologize because, again, I don't do anything on the camera so you can actually see his page or anything like that. But again, Soundout 12, that's Soundout and number 12. So he's a really cool YouTuber. He does a lot of pickups. He does a lot of book reviews and DVD, Blu-ray reviews, 4K, whatever. So yeah, you can check out his channel if you want to see more in depth of actually what all these books contain. So yes, what I'm doing is I'm doing a little bit different. I actually did a cheat sheet. So I do actually have somewhat of a record what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to give you some dates, and so then you can kind of follow it from there. So again, as you can see here, I don't have a full collection. I only have, I think it's, 21 titles there? Really 20, because one of them is actually the short story, or the short animation of Superman's Shazam and whatnot, which is actually the only short that came out in its own disc. Everything else was piggyback off a certain title, and I'll show you some of those titles. So as of today, they are at 59 volumes, or 59 movies, I should say, and obviously there's like 14 shorts, but those are all scattered within some of those volumes. There is a 60th hopefully coming out this year. Today is February 28th of 2026. And obviously the news are already out that James Gunn might end up quitting because he doesn't like the merger of Paramount and Warner Bros. And whatnot. So, good luck to him, I guess. I really don't know if that's true or not. We'll have to hear from, as they say, from the horse's mouth. So anyway, so again, what I'm showing you is just, again, to piggyback off of him. Yes, he did talk about the box set, but he did not have them. And so I do. So I'll show you what the boxes look like just in case. And then these are actually not in order of release. So basically, I kind of cheated. I went by release date in terms of the disc, not the actual books, but the discs that are contained in these. Because yes, these live in my bookshelves, and this lives in my DVD collection. But I just kind of I had to pick. I either had to do release date on the books or release on the Blu-rays, DVDs. So I decided the Blu-ray release DVD in terms of how I would do this. So this is volume 1. This is volume 2. It's 6 and 4. And actually, this actually came with Batman Black Knight, which is there. JLA Earth 2, which is there. Justice League Origin, which I moved over. The Death of Superman, which is there. Batman Year 1, which, again, I moved over. And then Wonder Woman, which is there. What I added from here to there was I did Batman Public Enemies, which is here, and then Under the Red Hood, which is there, and then Batman Dark Knight continues here again, and then JLA Throne of Atlantis goes there, which is pretty cool because this is actually issues 1 through 6, and then this is, I believe, 12 and 13 or 13 and 14, plus it has the Aquaman storyline. But in terms of movies, again, it still makes sense. This is War, and this is the Throne of Atlantis. So that's kind of how I changed it up a little bit. Other than that, a little history. So basically, The Death of Superman was released back in 2007, September of 2007. And there's actually 17 movies, and I have most of them. Again, I'm missing quite a few in between. And it ended with Superman Unbound, and that was the 17th movie. So most of these are 100% standalone. You don't need to, you can watch them in any order, basically. But as of basically the same year or the year after, I want to say, the 18th movie, which is Justice League Flashpoint, is basically the New 52. There's 15 movies, and basically that collection. Those you should watch definitely in order. They make a lot more sense if you watch it that way. In between, there's a whole bunch of standalones because that, again, is from movie 18 all the way to 40. So we're talking 22 movies in between, and only 15 are actually part of the 52. And then, like I said, the rest are standalones and whatnot. And then the last bunch were from so 41 is actually also standalone, so it's 23 movies, sorry. So then number 42 all the way to 56 is basically your Tomorrowverse. And the reason they call it that is because the first movie release and that new second epic, whatever you want to call it, is basically Superman Birthright, which is basically a Man of Tomorrow and whatnot. and that finished with the Crisis of Infinite Earth, the three-part. That was only honestly 4 years, less than 4 years. It was a month shy of being 4 years. So that went on from August 2020 to July of 2024. Sorry, I didn't give you a date on the previous one. The previous one was, yeah, I'm sorry, it was 2013 all the way to 2020, of a few months before Tomorrow, the Man of Tomorrow had came out. So there you go. So again, you can kind of look this up for yourself if you ever wanted to. And again, one of the other reasons I'm doing this video is because as of today, hopefully nothing else goes bad. Now we're also, not to get into politics or whatever, but there's some stuff going on around the world. We just bombed another country, which is, I don't know. It is what it is. So hopefully sometime this year, I'll have the full collection, because I have sold a few, and I've obviously missed quite a few. So I'm like only like 2/3 into this collection, pretty much, as I've got a little bit over 20. So prior to me owning these guys here, I had owned all 10 of these movies in single format, and 3 out of the 10 I had in steelbooks, and that includes like Dark Knight. I want to say another one was I think Under the Red Hood. I also owned in steelbook, and there was a third one I can't remember. But I just recently, this past year in 2025, I decided that I wanted to get these, because I'm just kind of trying to streamline my collection, and because I love stuff like this, I figure, okay, well, let me sell my singles, and I ended up making really, really good money. Probably a little over $200 when it was all said and done for all 10 movies, because some of them were a little bit hard to get. And again, the steelbooks, they just command that lot more. I think every steelbook was like $50 or more. And because I don't work, it just kind of makes sense. So this collection here, I only paid, let's see, I'm trying to remember because I know I wrote it down. Yeah, I paid $44.52, and that was with tax. And yes, these are used. None of them were brand new, but they're in great condition. And then this one, I paid $38 even, and that was also with tax. So for less than $100, I basically got all my 10 movies back, and so I made like $100 and something profit, which was pretty cool. I don't remember what I paid originally for them, but again. So if you want to, kind of like get some money back and then just replace it with it, these are great. Now, I love 4K. I think 4K is great, but I'll be honest with you, maybe it's because I'm in my 50s. I don't see the difference in animation. Now, if you bring a movie like Casablanca or Grease or, something from the 70s and the 80s, then yes, you can see the 4K quality jump, because in reality, 35 millimeter and 70 millimeter is high definition, always has been since that era. Yeah, again, it's different numbers, but it's really close. It's just that our equipment, our cathode ray tube TVs and even projection TVs just couldn't keep up back then. It's only now, 50, 60 years later, or 78 years later, or whatever, 80 years later, that our technology has caught up to film, to be totally honest, in the last, 15, 20 years or whatever. So anyway, so enough of that. I know you came in to see this, so I'll put these to the side. I will send off some of them. But I just kind of want to show you what I have in stock. And so, yeah, we'll put these to the side. I'll show you the boxes and the books. All right, so that's that. And so, coming over here, that's what they look like. They're very nice. They're embossed, so you can kind of feel the characters a little bit. Obviously, as you can see who's on the cover there. There are some repeats, as obviously she gets repeated again. The big three, obviously, him and him, they're there. Then obviously you got Green Lantern, Flash, Aquaman, part of the original Justice League. And then they added here my man Shazam. Actually, Aquaman's repeated too, sorry. And then you got Cyborg. This is the back. So you have a gold. I believe that's the new 52 issue, maybe 1, 2, or 3, something like that. I can't remember. This is obviously the Superman Batman by Jeff Loeb and... oh my God, and McGinnis. So that's that cover of issue 1, I believe. And then on the spines, the first one is in your typical gold. Second is in chrome there, as you can see. It's a little tattered. And I saw it in the picture, but again, I think it was still worth it. This gets kind of hidden in my bookshelf, so it's not going to like be a big deal. This one's in a lot better condition. The bottoms are also pretty good. A little bit of wear from moving, but yeah. So there you go. So yeah, these are super cool. I highly recommend them, especially if you're a reader and if you like the movies. So I'll pull these out. And so I'll show you the covers. So there's your first one, Death of Superman. And here's the disc. So bottom will always be DVD and top is always your Blu-ray. They even gave me the code. Doesn't work anymore though. Either that or I already used it obviously, but I mean it's been so long. So I'll just kind of slide that there. Next we got Batman Under the Red Hood. And again, you got your DVD and your Blu-ray on top. Then next we have JLA Earth 2. Which I actually have another copy of this. I got to get rid of it somehow. Maybe I'll give it away. Here's your DVD, your Blu-ray. Changes a little bit of color. And here's your first introduction to your first short ever, which is The Spectre. And again, after that, there was I think a total of 14 guest appearances for showcases, which is pretty cool. The only exception, again, being the Shazam one with Superman. That was a standalone disc, and I'll show you that one in a minute again. And here's your, again, your McGinnis and Jeff Loeb. So here's your Batman Volume 1. And the movie in here is Public Enemies. So again, your DVD, Blu-ray. Here's your George Perez Wonder Woman. And again, like even Sandow said, the movie is a new reimagining, so it really doesn't match the book at all. Some of these are just strictly in name only. So it is what it is. If you watch his video, at the end, he also shows you a new, the last release ever. He shows you 2 releases that I don't own, which is Batman v Superman or Batman versus Superman. I got to get that one. I don't care about the movie per se. I thought the movie was okay, but that one per se has the Reign of Superman disc. So I kind of want to get that one because it has that. But it would be just another copy of the Superman book that I just showed you, the first one there. So that's that. I know I didn't show you some of the bad ones, but oh, that just fell. So again, DVD, Blu-ray. And then for the second volume, so you have here Batman Year One. Again, Frank Miller. And then there's your discs. All right. Then you have The Dark Knight. And the first release of this was actually in 2 parts, but I'm glad that they kind of give you both of them together. So they give you the whole deluxe edition. So you got your Blu-ray and your, I'm sorry, your DVD and your, yeah, DVD and Blu-ray, sorry. So here we have Origins, which again is issues volume 1 through 6. And it's the war movie. Got DVD, Blu-ray. Pretty cool. And then last but not least is your Throne of Atlantis. And again, this covers, yeah, it's right there, 13 through 17 of Justice League. So it would have been nice if they would have made another movie in between. That would have been cool. That would have been 3 movies covering issues 1 through 17, but whatever. And then Aquaman 15 and 16. And so then, but I have these anyway in singles, not in singles, in trade paperback format. So when you're a collector of, like he even says too, you know, and it's honestly 100% true. When you're a collector of books and Blu-rays and DVDs and stuff like that, you tend to sometimes, you know, double. And I personally have triple dipped a few times. But anyway, yeah. So then the one that I wanted to show you, if I can find it. Here we go. So right here, this one's a little bit tattered. So here's your one and only showcase that was actually released by itself. And it's because it's a little bit longer than some of the ones that are included in the discs. You know, like Spectre, Catwoman, Jonah Hex, and whatnot. But yeah, so this is a somewhat, you know, you can't even call it a full-length movie because it's honestly a total of, I want to say it's like 30-something minutes long. I'm trying to find it here, but I can't see it. But anyway, it's still really cool. It's actually one of the better ones. So yeah, that's what the disc looks like. So I know I had mentioned before again about 4K and whatnot, and I did have again some of these movies in 4K. Some of the main 10 that I just sold there. I think only two titles. But again, when it comes to animation, I really, honestly, I personally don't see it. I guess it would have to be an animated short that was maybe from like the 50s and 60s, and maybe 4K would obviously clean it up. So you wouldn't get the digital artifacts, and you wouldn't get like the noise in the screen and whatnot. But other than that, though, I mean, these are fine. Do I want to watch them in DVD? Absolutely not. But I think Blu-ray is on point. Actually, this one's kind of funny. I love how they give Green Lantern some love. He's the only one that's in green, and I don't have the Emerald movie. I only have First Flight, so I don't know if the Emerald one was also in green. And I have a lot of my slip covers. Not all of them, unfortunately. I don't have it for New Frontier. This was, I believe, the second movie ever and whatnot, because I just kind of like made a mess, so I don't even know what's in order anymore. Actually, maybe I'll read them off to you guys. And so if you're still hanging on there, thank you. So it was basically Superman Doomsday, Justice League New Frontier, Batman Gotham Knights, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern First Flight, Superman Batman Public Enemies, Justice League Crisis on Two Earths, Batman Under the Red Hood, Superman Batman Apocalypse, All-Star Superman, Green Lantern Emerald Knight, Batman Year One, Justice League Doom, Superman vs. the Elite, which I showed you, that was part of what I still have, Batman The Dark Knight Returns, Superman Unbound, and that's when it ends, like I said before. Then Justice League The Flashpoint Paradox starts the New 52. So then you have Justice League War, Son of Batman, Batman Assault on Arkham, Justice League Throne of Atlantis, Batman vs. Robin, Justice League Gods and Monsters, Batman Bad Blood, which I'm missing a lot of these. The beginning of the DCAU, which is the DC Comics animated universe, started with Throne of Atlantis. Apologize. Justice League Flashpoint. I already said that. So then, we're still in the DCAU. Justice League Gods and Monsters was a standalone. Batman Bad Blood is part of DCAU. The Teen Titans, Justice League versus Teen Titans, Batman the Killing Joke, standalone. Justice League Dark, DCAU. Teen Titans, The Judas Contract, DCAU. MU, sorry. Batman and Harley. Batman Gotham by Gaslight was a standalone. And then these are all DCMU. Suicide Squad Hell to Pay, Death of Superman, Constantine City of Demons, Reign of Superman, Justice League versus Fatal 5, Batman Hush, Wonder Woman Bloodlines, Superman Red Sun is actually a standalone, and Justice League Dark Apocalypse ends the DC 52. Sorry for the camera. And then Deathstroke Knights and Dragons, which is number 41, is a standalone. And then 42, which is Superman Man of Tomorrow, again the Tomorrowverse, starts the new 10 movie version. And again, the last one, the DC 52 is 15 movies. Then you have Batman Soul of the Dragon, standalone. Justice Society World War II, as part of the Tomorrowverse. Batman Long Halloween, Parts 1 and 2, Tomorrowverse, Injustice, and Catwoman Haunted are standalones. Green Lantern Beware My Power is Tomorrowverse. Batman Superman Battle of the Super Sons is standalone. Legion of Superheroes is Tomorrowverse. Batman Doom That Came to Gotham is a standalone. Justice League World War Tomorrowverse. Justice League Infinite Crisis Parts 1, 2, and 3 are Tomorrowverse, and that ends that animated world. And then number 57 is Watchmen Chapter 1. 58 is Watchmen Chapter 2. 59 is Aztec, Batman Clash of Empires. And then the one that we haven't seen yet would be the start of number 60 for 2026, and that would be Batman Nightfall Part 1. And again, the shorts were The Spectre, Jonah X, Green Arrow, Superman Shazam, which I showed you, Catwoman, Sergeant Rock, Death, The Phantom Stranger, Adam Strange, Batman Death and the Family. I don't know why. Okay, yep, I guess this is a little short in it. Kamandi, The Last Boy on Earth, The Losers, Blue Beetle, and last but not least is Constantine, The House of Mystery. So there you go, folks. So that was your kind of quick little rundown on this whole universe thing. And that's basically it. So again, some of the ones that I still have in sleeve, kind of go back and show you those real quick because you only saw the spine. And I only have left one of the steel covers. So there's Doom, There's the Elite, Superman Elite. There's Flashpoint, that's the beginning of 52. Just like the comic. Here's Apocalypse. These are obviously out of order. Batman Robin. That's the only steelbook that I have left. And I would have sold it too, but I mean, it makes no sense since there's no book that's going to replace it. Here's Gods and Monsters. Here's Teen Titans, Justice League. And then Batman the Killing Joke. And then last but not least, the Dark. So I don't have the second, the Dark Apocalypse one. That's the one that ends the era of 52. So yeah, pretty cool, guys. So again, so please check out Sandout12. Again, awesome YouTuber. And yeah, if you stayed until the end, I should say, thank you so very much. I highly appreciate it. If you like the video, please, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, drop some comments if you like. So again, guys, thank you so very much. And you guys take care. Peace. See you guys later.